Okay, so this is my first time going live in a long time. I used to do a lot of Twitch, but um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing that much stuff. But I also apologies, super amateur hour, just using a low tech Logitech G and yep. Oh, let me lower the volume here. That'll probably help me a little bit. I'm monitoring through my headset. Anyway, so these are my Battletech minis. I spent a long time um, painting them. This is the first. I think these are the first minis I've ever painted. I just kind of went with the yellow. I used a mixture of Vallejo paints and then these super cheap ones. Sorry, it's backwards, but you can figure it out because you're brilliant. I believe in you. This Hisco cheapo acrylic paints. But the yellow is Vallejo, and there's also a Vallejo sepia wash over this. I think it's like a starburst, and then I use the cheapo teal, and then it's got a Vallejo blue wash over it to create some weathering. This is my first attempt at jeweling cockpits, so I think it was okay. It went all right. Let me see. Yeah, and they look decent. I like the weathering. I didn't do a whole bunch of fancy stuff with, you know, intakes and the metal. It's basically just metal with no weathering. I know it's suggested. I did um, go uh, like back over after the wash because everything was a real yellow with the sepia. So I like how the sepia turned out here, but I don't think it would work well with a lot of other colors, and I ended up going with Vallejo Umber later on um, to touch up some of the corners on this blue. The blue really helped add a little bit more color to the pigment, but so yeah, here they are. Oh, they're pretty good, and I'm going to flock them and put them away and do the next one. But I do like how these turned out. They turned out all right. And, again, I'm not really on following all my medias and all of that so much. But if you got questions on how I did it, let me know. I mean, I've got a bunch of YouTubers. Maybe I'll also get to it and put who it was. Um, but they help me with techniques, and I use this sort of combination. What I learned from these, if anything, is thin your paints, especially the cheap stuff. The cheap paints are thick, so you need to clean them up. You need to uh, thin them out because if I get real close, which I don't think you can see it here. Let's see if we can do this. Arr, arr. Can we? If you get real close, you can see inside of there. Oh, my other thumb. That it's a little thick. All right, enough of this. I put a piece of paper down so that we wouldn't have a ring here. I'm going to be testing different glues. I'm going to use Elmer Glue All. I'm going to be using this Elmer Clear Glue, and I'm going to be using this Bond stuff. I did also buy some Gorilla Glue, um, but you kind of have to wet the base. I haven't had a great experience with Gorilla Glue because I'm a noob and I don't know what I'm doing. So, and everybody just says use PVA glue. They say this is a type of PVA glue. So I'm basically trying to see what's clearer. So I've got these super cheap brushes I bought. We're going to use the sort of clear and glue all on two of these, and then on the Shogun and the Commando, we'll use this craft bond. So, yeah, let's get to it. So, I don't know. I think what we'll do is we'll just put some of this glue on the And then that's the craft glue. I guess if I was a real baddie, I would. And actually, I have like a different pair of glasses that I like to use because I'm kind of blind. I'm gonna go ahead and grab them on my setup over here. Setting up tolerances for the mic so that it doesn't pick up all the doodads is gonna be a later thing. All right, cool. All right, now I can get really close. All right, so we're gonna try not to get too much on the model. That could be a choice. You can be like, oh, look at all this grass on this guy. So, ah, you know what? I think I need to lay it on just a little thicker. So let's do that. I'm going to be using static grass. Oh, well. Who cares? This is my first one, right? Who cares if it's a little messy? So this paper is not just keeping the reflection of the O lamp off, but it's also going to be great to kind of dump this stuff out. I was thinking about, okay, let's try that. Let's try that. And I'll just throw this brush in the water. All right, so I've got this. I guess we'll go with this really dark. We'll try. Now, a lot of people will like cut these mechs off the base, but yo, I'm not that fucking dope. Oh, look at that. Oh, these might be too long. Yeah, we're just gonna dump it on there. I bought this. This is like some cheap Chinese terrain. I think a dude was like, don't use more than 2 millimeters. It's not even labeled what this is. So there, there's the first little go. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna pat it down because I was thinking about doing a couple different layers, right? So there's that one. That's the hobby glue. Let's go ahead and the Shogun's got some hobby glue. We're gonna do the Commando with some hobby glue. Let's go ahead and grab it. Oh, all right. Maybe I should have dried this before I. Should have gotten a paper towel too. But I've got some right here. Cool. Treating this a little bit like my acrylic paints, and maybe it's not so different. I'm thinking if there was a finer static grass, because that's what this called, static grass, I probably should have used that. And this is supposed to dry. Ooh, see, I'm already getting it on some of these details that I cared a lot about. This one is really messy. All right, this is great because now we're gonna see like how do you clean this up if you're a goober and you. So what I'm doing is just using a little pot of water as if it was acrylic paint. And this is like a super cheap brush. So I'm just gonna clean it off here because I did get a lot. I did get a lot on there. And I put a lot of work into this. I think another thing people said was like, paint the base. Paint the base. And I didn't. Oh my God, I really got glue on this guy. After all of that work I put into it. Another thing I've learned, again, this is like my first foray into this, is like if you dry off your brush, you can wick a lot of things off. But you know what? If you're careful in the first place, you're not doing this. You're not having to clean this up. We'll see how this looks. You know what? I'm gonna switch it. I was using this darker green. I'm gonna use this stuff on this guy. I'm gonna start this as the base. Now, I like this stuff a little bit better. If you don't have the mech on this, this is not as hard. But this is not, I'm not a guy. I was gonna say I'm not a guy that has a lot of time, and I'm not a guy that has a lot of time. But I would make more time if this was not working out. So I'm going to go ahead and, nobody told me to do this. I'm going to use a brush to kind of push this around, try to get some of this off the feet. And this is where I'm like, oh, I could see where it's useful that you paint the base. And look, and again, I don't know anything about anything, but it looks like this stuff is really great for standing up. It's used to like, I've seen some train model guys like sprinkle this on their little train sets, and it's cool because it stands up like grass. But there is like a applicator they use. But this guy gave me a lot of ideas because he also layered it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna let those dry. I didn't really get a hard number on how long it takes to dry. And actually, no, the train dude was pretty clear. All right, so these are both Elmer's Craft Bond. These are both these guys. Okay, we'll see how long they take to dry. All right, with the stalker, with with the stalker, we're gonna go with the clear glue because I have the least faith in the clear glue, and the stalker is has the least amount of base. These are, of course, the super old school mech models. Let's go ahead and throw this down. Whoa. There's a part of me that wonders if I should have shook this. Get shook. All right. Ooh, that's super clear. Super clear. I'm putting this like pretty thick. Whoa, that's a big dollop. Very thick, actually. Oh, my hand, don't shake. This has definitely got like a more gooey, I don't know if that's it. It feels thicker, or maybe because it's invisible, I'm just laying it on really thick. But I did. I laid it on very thick. We'll put this back in the water. And what are we going to use for this one? I think I think we're gonna start with this. It's a slightly lighter color one. No, nah, I'm gonna stick with this. This one, I kind of like this. What we might find is we're quite happy with just one of these. These are, I learned some stuff, and these are nylon, made of nylon, and they do feel it. They're very slick. Dope. He's fallen over. Shogun and this guy. Cool. So clear glue here, craft glue over here, and last we've got this guy, just regular old glue wall. They all do have different consistencies. So the craft glue is the thickest. This stuff is pretty thick. The clear glue does feel a little bit more jelly. And then this is like school glue. Now it's not exactly school glue. Going on Reddit. Oh, you see how cheap these are? Okay, that's how cheap it is. It's a bloop ferrule. I believe the ferrule just popped off. Okay, let's get to it. I am leaving this in the water in between so that the glue doesn't dry, and then I am kind of using this to clean it off. I think I'm gonna put a super healthy dollop on all of these from now on. So they're supposed to dry clear. Boink, boink, boink. I was got a little bit on my Mac. Been watching Goober Town Hobbies. Um, and that guy's super fun. I love how cavalier he is with his brushing techniques. He really is like, have fun. But today I watched this video he made like 5 years ago about pigments because these cheap acrylics I just showed suck. It's what I did this teal. It was called turquoise, but it was very light. Okay, we're gonna clean off this brush. I kind of have to clean the mech feet off a little bit. Oh, I got some glue up here. We'll get that off. Oh, man, I really wasn't paying attention. And I spent so much time on this little gun here. I'm kind of an older guy. I gotta wear glasses. So a lot of this detail work, while super fun, is hard. I can't really do it without pretty high magnification glasses. Or maybe I'm fine. Maybe I'm fine. The Maybe I'm not as impervious to the fear of recognizing my mortality as I like to pretend, and I'm being self-conscious. Doc says I'm in good shape. Should probably trust them. Okay. All right, screw it. It's good enough. Again, it's our first thing. So I'm digging this. I don't know what we're gonna do with the Shogun's like darker undercoat. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a half and half here. Let's do a little bit of here on the back, a little bit of here over here, and then let's grab this darker one that we were playing with, and let's just sprinkle here. we're gonna do happy little accidents. Happy little accidents. Okay, a little bit of that. We'll dust our fingers off. Maybe I can be a little frugal here slash cheap and use some of this that's already fallen off. Okay. I know that I need a pedicure. It's okay. Okay, cool. All right. So with these two done, we'll go back to our first guy here. I'll do a little shake. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at them so far. I can't really see with the glasses I on because they're 4X, but you know what? Let's take them off. If I can remember. Oh, I put my other ones here. So, okay, cool. Okay, not bad. Now, I'm going to do what the train guys showed me. I'm going to put more glue on there, and then I'm going to put another layer. All right. This guy's had a little bit of time to dry as well. You know, I feel like we can still see some of that glue under there. But again, the train dude I watched had no problem like dabbing glue and reapplying. Okay. So, with that said, we're going to clean this off. Now, my concern is this going to be too bushy? So, we'll see. We're going to do something fun. We're going to now, like we're painting some kind of acrylic. I'm just going to put some bunches here. Okay. And maybe back here. Okay. And we'll put a little bit over here. Whoops. So again, I gotta switch glasses, but screw it. Put a little dot back here. Boop. Okay. And then huh, let's take some of this lighter stuff. We haven't used any of this yet. Nah. Let's go back and let's throw this. Let's not get too crazy. Okay. And when we're done, we're gonna finish this off with a matte varnish. And so it's pretty simple. So, oh, crap. We kind of want to over apply and then we can, I think I'm figuring out why we should have painted it first. Maybe I should pat it down. I'm pretty sure this guy would be mad at me if I did that. He'd be like, you're gonna knock all the grass down. But there's a big part of me that's like, dude, I just need it to look good. I mean, I just need it to look covered. Let me put it that way. Okay, maybe I should listen to him. I'll just leave it for right now. We'll knock it down later. I'll grab some of this. Okay, cool. That's the craft. Um, crap. Where was I? Which one was the other craft? Um, I think this was it because I think that guy's clear. Yep. So this is craft. Okay. No. This guy's clear. This guy's regular glue. This guy's craft. Okay, cool. I can't, rewind the video to double check. So let's go ahead. Drop a little bit of that. I think the other guy was much more plop, plop, plop. Plop, 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 plop. Plop, 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 plop. Cool. Let's go. Plop, 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 plop. Screw it. Let's take some of this. I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to like come back and dig out the feet. That's what I think. Also, this water is slowly becoming glue water, so maybe this is gonna keep this from being too scientific. But with that said, one more dollop of clear. Oh, look at that. Still thick and gooey. And I'm gonna go with it, hoping that it binds and gives us texture. Okay. So dollop there, dollop over here. We'll clean up the base later. Yeah. And this glue is so kind of gel-like that I'm wondering if we can use it to sort of build. That's what I'm hoping. I've got to put some of this lighter green on there. So what might happen is I might have to let this dry over time, right? Before we shake it off. Which means, will I owe a video to show the end result? Probably. And grab a little bit more here and just kind of lay it on thick. I think that's the other thing too. It's like, what do I need to do? Nobody made it this blobby like I'm making it. Okay, this is the glue wall. This was a little bit more what it looked like in some of the videos. I think I am laying it down thicker, but here's a corner that doesn't really. I think what I'm going to do is over glue on the edges and stuff like that since I didn't paint them. And then I figure I can probably just clean up the edges. Clean up the rims when I'm rimming. Okay, I've got a lot. If I had a little tool to scoop this stuff up, I probably could use that. Because this is an expensive hobby in some ways. And why spend money where you don't need it or be wasteful? Why not figure out how to be economic? Oh shit, that's not quite the right color. Damn it. Man, I am gonna be digging these feet out. I'm gonna. All right, and with the Shogun, we're gonna do one last add because he doesn't have as much of this lighter grass color. So I'm gonna, whoops, pardon me. Okay, what are we gonna do? Oh, too much. Too much probably. Let's go. I hope Goobertown would be real proud of me for how cavalier I'm being. Or maybe they'd be like, not cavalier enough, my man. But I'm glad you're having fun, 'cause that's the type of dude he seems to be like. Okay, let's. This is a little bit ridiculous, but it's my first go, and we're gonna learn something, 'cause that's what this is all about, learning stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna learn how to dig my mech's feet out from under all this grass without destroying all the work I did. Or it'll be, oh, you didn't do it right? Here's how to fix it without doing too much damage in the process. Okay, I've got plenty here. I think we can use this. Okay, and okay. And this is good too, because it'll give me time to like go back, see what I actually put on what. I'm pretty sure I kept it, copacetic. Now it's all over my hands. And that's it. All right, so I'll pick this. Hopefully, I don't want to glue grass to the arm, but let me put this guy in the bucket of water, and we'll take a quick look at everybody. So here is the Shogun, and we will have to dig his feet out. God, oh no, I don't want to be showing me doing this. I'll probably be soaking this brush in some alcohol. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-clear the feet here. It is super bushy, and we'll see what kind of mistake that was. Let's see what kind of, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and maybe what we're gonna learn is, yeah, you made a good choice to do that ahead of time. I think we can also say like, hey, if they're in grass this thick, they're gonna be stomping in it. All of it. So my story with this is like it's a mercenary unit that I don't know. Because I really wanted to add some more color, so I was like, why are some of these panels painted? And I'm like, all right, it's a mercenary unit that's mostly like a debtor's mercenary unit. So like they don't really get paid, they have to work their way out of debt. And as they get closer to it, they get to paint these panels so that once their mech is completely turquoise or, it also looks like rusted copper, then they're essentially free. Okay, I think I'm going to be learning a lot about how to fix this flocking. Okay, let's dig this guy's feet out. I'm using water to kind of just dig them back out. And with the amount of flocking that I did here, I don't think these are going to be that sort of resilient, you know? I feel like it'll fall off or something. But we'll figure it out. The one of the guys that I was watching definitely liked the foam flocking. I'll have to admit, I did too. Maybe this stalker is going to turn out the best. I think what I'm doing is I'm using this kind of gluey water to dig the feet out, and we'll see how much of this, so I can not lose all of that detail. Like this toe that I had was kind of buried, but this could be cool if it sticks like this, like it's stomping through the grass and it's, you know, matting it down, but it's still puffy behind it. This stalker might turn out the best, so we'll take a quick look at it. Wonk, wonk, wonk. We'll see. I don't think how practical that is, that it's gonna not fall off. The idea was that these are game pieces, and I think I was thinking like, hey, the flocking will fall off, so lay it on thick. But yeah, I don't think I did this right, but I think I did kind of stumble into something kind of neat, and I think I might be smart for digging these out now instead of later. I'm kind of using liberal amounts of water to kind of help push the glue and grass off of these feet. Cool, cool, cool. Could probably use a little extra here, but fuck it. I'm gonna grab some glue and then just go. Did I just cover the foot a little bit more? Yes. But am I gonna dig it out just a little bit right now? Yes. Did I do it all right? Eh, I don't think I put too much detail on this dude's feet. Anybody reading Dungeon Crawler Carl? Okay, cool. This guy, the idea of this guy is like he's got a whole leg. He's like the guy closest to getting out, even though still not. So, and also this is I think the worst one, the clunkiest. So, just take, oh, shucks, and just dip the paintbrush in the flock. So, I'm gonna do again, liberal coating of this water that I probably should have. That's got probably enough glue product in it to have a minor effect. And then that's it. And we'll see how it looks. Maybe tomorrow. All right, one last look. Bonk. Again, yeah, we'll have to clean all of this. I wonder if we'll trim it. We'll see how well the glue holds everything. Javelin, if you're wondering, this is the old school javelin. Actually, can I bring this whole camera forward and then can I like go like this? And then what if I like, oh, bonk. And then if I push these guys back, is this cool? Heck yeah. Look at these baddies. Let's see. Is that good? I'll go back a little bit and then we'll tilt this guy down. Heck yeah. All right. that's where we're at right now.